So, for instance, the patristic fathers, the church fathers who lived from the time of the apostle St. Augustine, a lot of these saints, the old church fathers who lived from the time of the apostles till the time of the Council of Chalcedon, they will say, in what way are humans like God and not like animals? Those are the kind of questions they will ask. So they will say that with Thomas Aquinas, for instance, will say that Imago Dei is manifested in the power of reason. You may want to write that down. The power of reason. So Thomas Aquinas will say something like, the rational and the substantial soul. The rational, substantial soul mirrors its archetype. Now, that's a fanciful way of describing what Brother Ogunye just told us. What Brother Ogunye was explaining. Oh, I see somebody who is angry, and I'm saying, yes, in that I see God. I see somebody who is joyful. In that I see God. I see somebody who is making rational decisions. And that person is substantial, is not a ghost. So he says, the rational, substantial soul mirrors its archetype. Who is the archetype? God. God is the archetype. So we are just a mirror of who he is. But we are not who he is. All you need to do is read the book of Ezekiel, and you know that we are very far from who he is. But we mirror the archetype. We are a mirror of the archetype. May God grant us understanding. Is this any meaningful at all? So St. Augustine, for instance, will say that there's something called intrapsychic Trinitarian structure. Can you say amen to that? That there's something called intrapsychic Trinitarian structure. That's what St. Augustine will say. And what he meant by that is that you have memory, you remember stuff. Just like God, your father, remembered Israel in their bondage. 400 years they were there. And then one day he remembered them. So St. Augustine talks about intrapsychic Trinitarian structure. He says that we have intellect. So we are sitting in this class. I just threw you a big word and immediately you understood it. You are not void and looking like, and rolling your eyes. No, you understood what I was saying. You could grasp it. You could begin to paint a picture. It may be a word you have never heard, but you can make sense of it because you understand intra, which is internal, psychic, which talks about suke, the soul, with the Trinitarian structure within the soul, which is the memory, the intellect, and the will. Of course, we all know that. So it's really not a big word. It is just a way of speaking. So Augustine and his friends, they wrote about things like conscience, things like spirituality, things like immortality. How many of us have used the word legacy before? If you have ever used the word legacy before, can you type yes? Type yes. Okay. How many of us have thought about the concept leaving a legacy before? How many of us have ever thought of the concept, I want to leave a legacy? Now I need you to type amen. I need you to say, I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave a legacy. Yes, type amen. Okay. Now, so you are like God. You're in the image of God. Because you have taken something that goes beyond you. You have taken something that goes beyond substantiality. Oh my. How I wish I can explain this to you. You have taken that which is insubstantial, you have ascribed it to the substantial. In 200 years, would Sister Folarinde still be here? I don't think so. If Jesus has not come, Jesus has come, then yes. But if Jesus has not come, 200 years from now, it will be tough, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But Sister Folarinde is thinking about what is going to happen 200 years from now. Brother Ogunye is asking himself, how can I speak even though I am no longer in the realm of a substantial? So you're going beyond the substantial into the it just flew away from me now, into the psychical. Now, when you hear psychical, don't think about those, let me read your palm. That's foolishness. We are talking about the soul, that essence of man that is not substantial, but is so real. It is so real. My father has been dead for 11 years now. 11 years now. But often I think about him. Often I will ask myself, what will Baba do? Unconsciously, I'm asking myself, what will Baba do? I don't call him Papa, I call him Baba. What will Baba do? In this kind of situation in which I find myself, how will he engage? A lot of time I find myself asking that question. So even though he's dead, he is yet speaking. It's not necromancy now. It is that which is living that is giving life to that which is gone. Oh my. So these are deep things that are possible only totally in God. The memory, the intellect, and the exercise of the will, the exercise of conscience, spirituality, immortality, freedom, and personhood. It's possible only in God. During your class in writing, I spoke briefly about Heidegger. Heidegger says that the only way I know that I am me, the only way I can define my personhood is as I am a being in context. And the context, I don't exist if there is no reference point. So it is Sister Folarinde that makes me aware that there is a school. Just like I am the one that makes Sister Folarinde aware. If both of us don't exist, imagine a situation where Sister Folarinde, poof, Brother Shayo, poof, Brother Ogunye, poof, Fadel, poof, everybody, poof. Let's say rapture occur. Would there still be a school? No. Our personhood is a function of those that we are in relationship with. Guess who is the original relator? God.